Feel that gnawing frustration? That endless, choking feeling that your market is just stuck? You pour time, energy, money into growth, only to watch those same tired, oversaturated audiences flick through your offers like they're meaningless background noise. You're yelling into the void, but the world's deaf. You think niche markets are supposed to be your secret weapon, your edge, your breakthrough, but instead, they feel like a prison cell, too small to breathe, too crowded with competition. Sound familiar? It's maddening. You know you're sitting on a gold mine, these tiny, overlooked pockets of people, these micro communities craving something only you could give, but they won't come to the table. They don't even know you exist. And worse, when you try to reach them, your message feels generic, flat, empty. You get ghosted, left on red, ignored. It's not just frustrating, it's infuriating. Guess what? This wasteland of disconnected effort, this burning agony of wasted resources, all of it is happening because a brutal truth nobody's telling you. You're not actually targeting a niche market. You're aiming too broad. You're throwing darts blindfolded. And this is where micro-segmentation comes stomping through like an unstoppable force. Not just a buzzword, not just fancy jargon. A weapon forged for those who refuse to accept slow, painful, mediocre growth. This is how you explode your niche market, how you turn that frustration into rocket fuel, into wildfire, into a tsunami that your business rides straight to massive, explosive growth. Here's the cold reality. Niches don't succeed by trying to be everything to everyone inside them. The entire market might fit one label, but inside that label, it's a tangled web. Different people, with different problems, different dreams, different reasons for buying or turning away. And only when you slice through that web with laser-like precision, when you carve out microsegments so tight and specific that they scream, "This, IS for me," only then do you trigger a connection so emotional, so visceral, that these people become not just customers, but evangelists. You don't just get a sale, you get a fan base that feels seen, understood, valued at a level nobody else has dared to offer. That's the secret sauce the slow growers and wishful thinkers will never reach. If you want to ride this wave, here's the ironclad blueprint to follow. Cut the crap. Throw away assumptions and focus like a sniper on these steps, one fierce move at a time. First, stop pretending your audience is one homogeneous group. Stop using lazy filters like age, location, or job title alone. Dive deep, insane deep. Map out what drives their daily lives, not just demographically, but psychologically. Fears, desires, habits, rituals, frustrations so sharp they hurt when ignored. Find the micro-motivation that makes them tick. For example, within a tech startup founder niche, don't just target founders. Target founders burned out after their first failed pitch trying to prove themselves to skeptical investors, or founders obsessed with sustainable growth, fighting the fear of losing equity to early hires. Those are battle scars that create loyalty if addressed ultra-specifically. Next, build messaging that isn't just marketed to them, but carved from their wounds and ambitions. Speak their language, not generic marketing speak, but raw, direct, soul-hitting words that say, "I see you. I know who you are," down to your maddening 3 a.m. doubts and triumphal moments. Use every tool at your disposal to map behavior at the tiniest slices. What pieces of content spark obsession? Do this, and you don't get customers. You command tribes. Third, use data like a hacker in the shadows. Don't settle for surface-level analytics. What offers get ignored? What questions linger unanswered? Tie your microsegmentation directly to real-world actions and refine ruthlessly until the right people cannot help but respond. Fourth, relentlessly test and iterate on these microsegments. This isn't set it and forget it. The world is moving faster than you want to admit. A microsegment today can dissolve tomorrow if left unattended. Stay hungry, stay curious, stay brutal. Play offense, not defense. Finally, leverage community like it's your secret weapon. The power of microsegmentation explodes when you translate connection into collective belonging. If you identify micro segments that feel isolated or misunderstood, orchestrate ways to bind them together, not just with your brand, but through shared interactions, forums, focused events. Make your micro segments feel like the one true home for exactly who they are. They won't leave. They'll fight for you. If all this feels like an uphill battle, that's because it is. The system is rigged to reward laziness, to push you toward comfort zones that will drown your growth. But this is where those who refuse to conform break through. This isn't just about marketing tactics, it's about reclaiming the power of the individual, the power of connection, the power of you as a founder or leader to see beyond illusions and plant explosive seeds into untouched soil. Micro-segmentation shatters the mirage that freedom means fear of missing out on a big mass market. True freedom is mastery over the details. True freedom is owning your specifics so deeply that your growth becomes an unstoppable avalanche. You break the chains of mediocrity imposed by safe, broad approaches and ignite a fire no one in the crowded market can extinguish. Start today. Identify those micro-segments nobody's seen because they're too small, too awkward, too complex. But that complexity is your edge. Craft your message so sharp it cuts through noise like a scalpel. Use relentless data to feed your hunger. Build micro-communities that protect your growth like fortress walls. That's how niche markets explode. That's how you transcend limits and force the world to notice. Your market wants to scream back at you. They want clarity, they want deep understanding, they want connection so fierce it turns buying into loyalty, loyalty into advocacy, advocacy into unstoppable momentum. But they won't shout if you whisper to the crowd. You have to speak right into their hidden worlds, with a sharpness they've never dared imagine. This isn't for the faint-hearted or the lazy. It's for those ready to rip through comfortable illusions, to transcend tired market rules, and to ignite niche growth that looks like magic, but it's just ruthless, precise mastery of micro-segmentation. This fight is brutal, but it leads to freedom. The freedom of explosive growth, of radical connection, of markets that don't just survive, but thrive on your terms. So stop wasting one more second on vague strategies. Sharpen the blade, slice the market into tiny, specific pieces. Own every detail of your ideal customer's world. Build those unbreakable bonds. Watch your niche market not just grow, but explode. Because when you master micro-segmentation, you stop chasing the market and the market starts chasing you.